Welcome to Seek Reality. I'm Roberta Grimes, and I am delighted that you're with us today. Oh, my dear ones, people sometimes ask me for referrals to really good psychic mediums, but I'm not the right person to ask because I'm kind of a skeptic by nature. And since I already know that everyone I know who has transitioned is just fine, I know I'm going to see them again pretty soon now. I haven't attempted to have a reading with a psychic medium in many years because I don't think it would work as well for me as it does for most people, because one of the problems with working with psychic mediums is that you have to be open-minded about the process, and I tend to keep looking behind the curtain. But there are, I have to tell you, some excellent, very excellent psychic mediums, and one of them is our guest today. Carolyn Molnar is with us on Seek Reality again for the sixth time, and she is a very good psychic medium indeed. She's based in Toronto, Canada. She has more than 40 years' experience in this field, and she has a list of faithful clients that is now worldwide. Carolyn also teaches classes on mediumship and psychic development, and she has led workshops across Canada and also at Lilydale, New York. She was featured a while back on Vice TV's television series Mr. Tachyon, which was called Do Humans Have a Sixth Sense? And of course, indeed, they do. Carolyn is highlighted in the book Psychics and Mediums in Canada and Medium 7, Evidence of the Afterlife and Predictions. She's been profiled in at least three, maybe more now, national Canadian newspapers, the Toronto Star, the National Post, and the Globe and Mail. She also wrote, produced, and directed a one-woman play called What? You're a Medium? At the 2016 Toronto Fringe Theatre Festival, and readers of the North York Mirror newspaper voted her their favorite psychic 2 years in a row. Carolyn has written two books, which include Compassionate Messenger, and released some guided meditation CDs as well. And it's all detailed and available on her website, which is conveniently called carolynmolnar.com. Oh, my dear friend Carolyn, welcome. It's lovely to have you back with us again.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I've been looking forward to this. Thank you, Roberta.
Um, I, I I can recommend very few mediums because, to tell you the truth, I'm a hard person to read simply because I'm so skeptical. I have had many bad readings,
Mm,
and primarily because I am so skeptical. As you know, I'm the worst possible person to be reading. I'm sort of going, But I know you're the real deal. You have been tested. You're great, and I'd love to have you just sort of explain to people who've maybe lost a loved one, would really like to try to get a good reading.
mhm.
Talk a little bit about the psychic mediumship and what it's all about.
Well, there is a difference between psychics and mediums. And being a medium, you're not necessarily psychic and vice versa.
Right.
So you have to discern between the two. Psychics talk about the here and now, finances, love life, health. Am I going to move? What about my job? That's
Hmm.
here and now. Whereas mediumship is only speaking to those who have crossed to spirit. So that's the major difference. And for me, it's a different band of energy. I work with the aura of the person when it's psychic because it's about them. And I tap into a higher energy with the people in spirit because they are now etheric. They're not physical. So different energy altogether. And what I find is their personality is the same as it was when they were here. Otherwise, you wouldn't recognize them. The only thing that can change is their age. So if they, died a very awful death and a long-term death and wasn't a happy time for them, they're not going to come back that way. They'll talk about it, but they may come through with an energy of a 32-year-old. And I've warned some clients to say, if you get a reading from your grandfather, understand he could be a 32-year-old now.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
Probably will be, actually.
yeah, which is something that makes the loved ones here who have been left behind feel a lot better.
Yeah.
So, and here's the other thing too, is that uh, we don't see all, know all, hear all. We are totally at the discretion of the spirit world.
Yeah.
And I've had experiences where they just don't show up, and for various reasons. One is they've had a difficult death, a long-term death where their energy is so low that they have to go and replenish. And
Hmm.
so they don't have enough energy to come and talk. So I say to my clients, please wait 3 months. If you can do it, just wait 3 months to allow them to rejuvenate so that I can hear them,
Absolutely.
see them, sense them. Um, and other times they just don't want to be there. I had an experience with a gentleman whose mother hated him, and there was just no way she was coming to see him. I got mother-in-law, godmother, grandmother, but not mother. And he left very angry. And thankfully, his wife was there. And I said, I don't know what happened here. And she said, I understand. She didn't like him. Why would she come? So their personality is the same there as it is here when they haven't had
Right.
chance to
Yep.
take care of themselves. And the other part is if they reincarnate. If you're looking for Uncle Joe and he's reincarnated to another family, the energy is not the same anymore. Uncle Joe is not available. So, and I get a sense that and they usually reincarnate back into the family. So it's a soul group thing. So, so there are various things, and it makes me nuts when, people say, I want to know this, and I want to know this, and I want to know this, and did he have this, and did he have that? And it's like, wait a minute here. I'll tell you what they're telling me, but I can't tell you those things if they don't tell me.
Right.
I will say, no, I'm not getting that. It's like, it's about telling the truth. I have this sign and I live by it. See this? So I think that's
True.
why I mean, I'm now 45 years on doing this work, more than half my life. So I think it's because I am speaking the truth. And I also stay really grounded because there are clients that come and they're pretty broken up. The worst are the children that leave early, and or those that complete suicide, and the family just wants to know they're okay. And and I've been noticing as well there are younger people, very old souls, and have a very hard time being on the planet. They don't understand the aggression, the anger, how people treat each other. It's just
Yeah.
so heartrending. They haven't found their purpose because they're so distracted by all of this aggression. They go home and sometimes by their own hand. Um, and when they go into the spirit world, everything's looked into. What was your state of mind? What was your health? All of this, and it's all talked about. And through their guides, they get counseling and they're well looked after. So they go to the same place we will, um,
Mhm.
by natural or accidental death. There's no difference, and I think that really helps the family to know and to cope that their loved one is okay.
They're not punished, in
They're
other words.
not punished, not at all.
Right.
No, that I have to say is a belief system that's human.
Yep.
Um, but as I say, they have their mind, their memory, their soul, and their personality. That's what they have when they go home, and they should be recognizable. I like to give evidential messages initially, like you know. I've seen a plaid shirt. He's wearing blue pants, but it looks like jeans, and he's got this ball cap on, and he's got this big smile, but his one tooth is missing. Oh my God, it's so and so.
That's him. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I'm asking of the spirit world is please give me the minutia so that people understand that this really is real and that I'm just the conduit. That's why they call us mediums. I'm speaking for them because you can't hear them.
Yeah.
And oftentimes what happens is I'll say, did you notice there was a dime on the floor the other day? And they go, yeah, what was that about? I said, well, that's an apport. They sent you that through various and sundry ways as a gift, as a token to let you know. I've cardinals, blue jays, they don't become them, but they influence the animal to come close
Yeah.
by. I
Oh,
had a
yeah.
student whose mom was a Blue Jays fan, a Toronto Blue Jays fan. And after she passed, there were all kinds of Blue Jays that would come to the window. So this gal
Oh,
knew that it
yeah.
was her mom signaling her. And I do have to say, Roberta, I do have this YouTube channel, and I refer this channel a lot to people who have lost loved ones. I have a playlist, and it's called Signs from Spirit. And there's about 18 to 20 little clips, about 3 to 4 minutes. Some of them might be repetitious, but it gives us a sense of what spirit's doing to get our attention. Unfortunately, it's so darn subtle. If you don't know what you're looking for, you'll miss it. And my YouTube channel is basically Carolyn Molnar. So it's easy to find. And I've got over 600 clips of questions from people who have written to me. And I feel that it's something that can help their spirituality, people's spirituality. So I answer them on the YouTube channel. So, you have a reference point there if you just need to get some
It's a nice
information.
website. It's
Thank
easy
you.
to find things. So I recommend people go there.
Yeah.
And it'll be at the bottom of the materials for this interview. So I urge people to go there.
Thank you. I like my website because I don't want to be breathing down people's necks. Let them
Right.
make their own choice, If it
Yes.
fits,
Yes.
move on to the next.
Yeah. No, that's but all the things that you're saying are just basically truthful. I mean, when I was first testing mediums, the only ones that I was able to really do anything useful with were the first few that I tested, because your loved ones are people. They're just like, anyone else are people. The first few that I tested, my loved ones, they were right on. They wanted to help me, so they all came through. But after that, it was like, oh, for Pete's sake. And only a couple of them after that. My mother, my brother-in-law, that was about it. Nobody else wanted to bother. Where are you guys? This is another meeting here. I want you to come, everybody line up and come through. No, they didn't want to bother.
You know why they've said what they needed to say?
Yeah,
I said that to my,
but hey, you're supposed to
yeah.
be helping me, guys.
No, they
Line
don't.
up and come through, but they didn't. And
No, because you have to live your life not according to them, but to your own self be true. They're not guides and angels. They are what we remember. So they don't
But
have all
hey,
the answers.
I'm doing this. I'm t testing mediums because I want to tell
Mhm.
other people these are good or these are not such good. But no, they have their own lives
Yep.
in the afterlife. I mean, this was, 30 years ago. This was when I was just trying to start out, and it was before I understood
Mhm.
they had their own lives
Oh,
to
yes.
live.
Better than ours.
And
Better than
they
ours.
were not, hey, Roberta, we're not your toys to be playing with. We're
That's
out doing our own thing. We came through, we're fine, so we're doing our own thing now. It
well,
was
one of
really
the things I
funny.
say to my clients is don't come back for 6 months. It's going to be the same thing, or they're not going to show up because they've said
Yeah,
what they needed
yeah,
to
of
say.
course, of course. And
So,
and as for not starting to look for signs or go to mediums right away. Very often, may not even understand that they were emotionally ill. Maybe they were not that physically ill when they died, but they needed a rest period. And there are beautiful healing gardens
yes,
where they go right after they transition, and they spend time in those healing gardens being healed.
and they cannot reach us, not at that
Nothing
time.
there.
No, they
No,
have to take care of themselves. Yeah, it's a rough life here, I tell you. It's
we don't
amazing that we're
realize
not
because
all
we're
in the
used
healing
to it and
gardens.
we're tough.
Yeah.
But when we go home, we are overwhelmed with how much love. We breathe love. It
Hmm.
is love everywhere.
Yes.
And we just sometimes need to heal.
Hmm.
And
And
so
that's why I think there's some people who come here having come from that environment and just cannot manage what's
we
here.
can't take it.
Yeah.
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 And
Yeah.
that's why sometimes young children die and babies die. Sometimes they just,
Yeah, they can't take it.
do
And
you
I've
wonder
heard
why
another
babies
one
cry a
too.
lot? Where babies cry a lot because they come here thinking, oh, this is going to be easy, and then they're firstborn are going to go, ah,
Yeah, what have I done?
that's right. What have I done? That's exactly what what happens. They can't believe they've done this to themselves again. But if
Yeah.
we give them a lot of love and a lot of cuddling, they can adjust usually, but sometimes not.
No, and I've had people say, "Why did I come here?" Like, what am I thinking? And this is one of the greatest planets to soul progress quickly
Yes,
because
everyone tells us that.
yeah,
Yeah.
we do not have the Adams and Eves of other planets. We do not have the Garden of Eden and all that stuff. We don't have it. It's from our soul and our heart and our connection with our guides who can help us. But we're pretty much like being bombarded by challenges all the time. And it's our ability to manage this helps us. And you know what? If it's from a place of love, of self, really important, and of others, you can manage it better.
Yeah.
Um, and here's the other thing too, Spirit's just telling me now about love. The people who are, you know, um, not having a good time, having a difficult, go and serve. Go work at the food bank. Go find out what it's like to have, work in a cancer clinic. Go and help the homeless. See how much better your life is and how much more richer it
Yeah.
is you're helping others. And that's the biggest lesson. That is the biggest lesson. Is that this is love. That's what love is helping.
Learn love and give love. Whatever the question, love is the answer.
Yeah, yeah. And I think we've gone away from that. I think that we need to really come back to that.
You don't even have to go to a church. Just sit
Mhm.
down and read the Gospels. Read
It's
the
right
words of
here.
Jesus.
It's right here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know,
If you just gigantically progress in love in this lifetime, that's really what we came to do, to learn
mhm,
love, to give love, to
mhm.
receive love, to love yourself. Love is all this is about this lifetime.
And this is a perfect planet because how we learn is through opposites. We don't know what love is without knowing what the opposite of. We don't know what light is
Exactly.
without the
So
dark.
profoundly said, my dear.
Mhm,
We
mhm,
have plenty of opportunity here to experience the opposite and to
mhm,
push away from it.
mhm.
And the way we do that is with forgiveness. If we don't learn forgiveness, we cannot possibly learn how to experience and to give love properly. And
And here's
Jesus said
the thing,
that.
forgiveness comes from self first. If we don't forgive ourselves, it's hard to forgive others. And you know what's
Absolutely right,
happening?
too.
This is really weird. So I'm getting flashbacks of something I did in my life as a kid or whatever. And I went, whoa, that's really awful. And Spirit's saying, are you going to forgive yourself
You
now?
have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, and if other people are experiencing it, that's the lesson. It's forgiveness.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to forgive everything you've ever done.
Now, I don't
And
know
that
how
can
we
be
got here
true.
from mediumship, but there you are.
No, but the thing is, what mediumship does is to give you that other perspective, the perspective of the people who have gone ahead in your life. All of them now are where you're going to be, and all of them have something to teach you now. And I'm going to sneeze.
Mhm. Bless you.
Pardon me.
That
Other
wasn't a
people,
sneeze. That was so pleasant. You should see. Oh my gosh.
other people in my family are passing around the sniffles,
No dear.
and I don't seem to have that what they have, but I'm sort of getting over it, whatever it was.
Tis the
Uh,
season.
but it's really true, and you don't have to go to church for any of this. A
No.
lot of people are turned off by church. You don't
Mm,
need it.
no.
But Jesus taught us everything we need to know, and if you just go to the Gospels, you can take a scissor to the rest of the Bible, but the Gospels, those four
Mhm.
chapters,
Mhm.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Jesus taught us all we need to know.
Well,
Love and
also too,
forgiveness.
being with self and just communing with self and meditating and raising yourself up to a higher energy. That also
Yeah.
helps too. We can do a lot of things to correct ourselves,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's all we really need to do. Just and just if we ask for help from God to better understand all of this and to better live it, you get it.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, you get it in buckets and buckets. You get it poured over your head, you get it into your heart so directly.
And it may not be what you expect.
No,
No, but it works. Yeah. Yeah.
beautifully. No. And you teach all of this too, right?
Yes,
You
I
teach.
do. Yeah, I have a psychic development class and I also have a mediumship class. And for myself, as a teacher, it's very important that people know their psychic nature first before they get into mediumship. Because I taught for many, many years. I've been teaching for, oh gosh, now it's 25 years. Um, and there have been some students that were in the psychic development class, and all of a sudden, Spirit decided, okay, I'm coming in, and they were ready, and they were like freaking out. And I said, okay, calm down, calm down. It's just you're ready to receive this. It's okay. Well, let's walk through it together. So that's why I don't really throw people into the deep end because psychic development is about working with your guides, which is love, light, and fun, and they're just
Yeah.
good energy. Whereas, I've had situations while I was at Lilydale, New York, and giving messages at the stump, and there were like close to 400 people, and this man came in asking for forgiveness. He was an abuser. Yeah. So, how does the medium handle that kind of thing?
Oh, well.
Especially when the recipient didn't want to hear from them. So, you got to really know your mojo before you jump into mediumship. Now, it's not always like that, but because people are people, spirit are spirit, they haven't, become guides and angels. No, that comes lifetime after lifetime.
How did you handle that? I mean, did you help the person understand how much it would help
Yes,
them to
I would
grow spiritually when they
I
forgave
said to
that?
them, no, I said to them, this gentleman is asking for forgiveness. So it got her into a place of non-fear, but power, because the power was
Mhm.
coming from her. I can
Yeah.
either forgive or not forgive. It's in my ballpark now. And I think that that's what the spirit person wanted, not
Yeah.
necessarily the forgiveness, but giving the power back because they progress by their behavior. And
Mhm.
it wasn't an ultimate, ulterior source. It was genuine.
Mhm.
So I didn't ask her to forgive him. I just said, this is the message. He's asking for forgiveness, and I'll leave that with you. It's not up to me to counsel them because I'm
No,
not a counselor.
no, no, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, the way
Yeah.
I am, I would try to make it all better, but you really can't, I suppose.
No, well, this is a step in becoming better. It's something that they can look at differently,
Mhm.
an
Mhm.
opportunity to look differently. I remember there was one again at the stump. Oh my gosh, it was a grandfather who had opened up a pizzeria in New York, somewhere in New York City, and it was his baby, and his family had taken it over, and he was not pleased by what they were doing and how they were reinventing the pizza and all this stuff. And I'm
Oh my goodness, you were messing with the pizza?
Yeah, well,
Oh
they were
no.
new ingredients and all this stuff, and he wasn't happy.
Oh
And I said, Your fridges have been acting up, right?" And they go, "Yeah." And I said, "It's him. He's not happy."
dear.
So I said, you have a choice. Either, tone down the
Oh,
changes or put up with the fridge issues. So,
oh, I
but
think that's so
I could feel with his
funny.
grandfather that he was so much happier now that the message was delivered and that they get it,
You
you
stop
know.
messing with my pizzas, capiche?
Oh,
You better
yes.
shape up.
Yeah, that was his baby. There was no way he was giving that up. No way. Yeah. It's really, it really is an amazing uh career. I never thought I would do this. I was an office administrator. I used to
So
handle,
how did you know you had these skills? What
oh, well,
made
I
you?
always did. I always did. As a 5-year-old, my mother would ask me stuff and I would tell her, and she'd, oh, come on, Carolyn. And I'd say, if you don't want to know, don't ask. This is a 5-year-old. So I
You were
was
pretty
very sure of
fresh at
myself.
5.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't mess with the spirit world with me. And I guess I was about 18 years old and 20, and I met my mentor who trained me for 20 odd years.
Oh,
And
that's
that was through my
funny.
father. Now, my mother and my father both were wide open to this. They were, they had history, and I have siblings, one of whom, sorry, is a full-time medium. and the other one uses her intuition
Yeah.
as a
It nearly
multi-knowing.
always runs in families. Yes.
And it goes back down both sides, like my mom's side and my dad's side.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
Yeah. So
get it
I,
from both sides is very common.
yeah, and
Yes.
that I think that's why I chose them to be my family because
Yeah.
it was never a problem. So when I met my mentor, Sadie, that was when I launched, but not professionally. It took me 20 years to get to that point. And when she passed away, I said, I can't let this, excuse my language, die. She gave me so much information. And I'd say a couple of months from her passing, I lost all contracts. It was in the 80s and we had that downturn. And
Yeah.
I had been working for myself and it was gone. And I turned to my husband and I said, I guess what I can do is readings. I can do that.
Yeah, of
And that's
course.
how it started. That's how I started.
Oh my. Well,
Yeah,
that
crazy.
was very fortuitous.
Yeah. I don't know
Isn't
for
that
whom.
wonderful though?
I was scared spitless starting out, let me tell you. Oh my goodness. Yeah. It's fun when you're reading for family and friends. They're very forgiving, but when it becomes professional, it's a whole different ball game. You better be on.
But there also, you're in a field where there are a lot of fakers. There
Yeah,
really are.
yeah. And you know what? It's with every career. You've got good teachers, bad teachers. You've
Yeah,
got
yeah.
good
That's
lawyers
true.
and bad lawyers. But
That's true.
unfortunately, with mediumship, the people you're dealing with are so vulnerable,
That's right.
right? And that makes me sick. I
It's
mean,
at the
it just
worst
makes
time of
me
their
nuts.
lives.
Yep. And
And there are so many people,
yep.
I think I'm getting, oh, it's
No.
a man. Oh,
Oh,
it's older vibration. Oh, look, I mean,
okay. You're
I've seen
making my
them. It's
back teeth
terrible.
vibrate. Oh, and these people are very vulnerable and they're grieving and they just want some truth and some closure. And I've often said to them, "Are you in grief counseling?" And one of them said to me, "I've been in grief counseling for years, but this is the first time coming to someone like you that I feel better, that I know they're okay."
Yeah.
So I know that we have a place in this, but I emphasize I'm not a counselor. I don't manage grief because I haven't been taught that, but I can offer you, you know, evidence that your loved ones are okay.
That's what they really want.
Yeah,
They want to know for certain,
yeah, yeah,
to be sure. And all it really takes is for the person that they go to who says they're a medium to give them something that nobody else could possibly know. And it's a little thing.
yeah, it is. It is.
With my mother, the little thing was this. The medium, right after my mother died, and I wasn't really, she happened to be someone that I thought was probably a pretty good medium for various reasons. And I happened to be at a symposium. And she said, "Would you like a medium?" And I was very vulnerable. My mother had just died. Now, I'm a researcher. I knew my mother was fine. But I said, "Sure, I'll have a reading." And so she was getting actually pretty good stuff from everybody else. And then she said, "Oh, this woman says she's your mother. But why is she pointing at her eyebrow? That's so strange." I said, "I know why, and you got my mother." Nobody else would have known.
Mm-mm.
My mother did not have eyebrows.
Oh, okay.
She had to paint that. Oh, she just told me. She says, "No, I don't have to paint them on anymore." Bingo.
Lucky, lucky her. There's a lot of advantage being on the other
But
side.
you see how perfect that was? Nobody else
Yeah,
knows that
no,
no other medium would have known the one quirky thing about my mother, and I could show you a picture and you'd laugh. Painted on
yep,
wide eyebrows on this
yep,
woman.
yep, yep.
And so she picked up on the one thing my mother knew to show me that,
Mhm.
and the medium knew to make that one unmistakable thing. Shouldn't have to say anything else.
And that's how it should work.
That's
Oh,
exactly how
yeah,
it should
yeah.
work.
Mhm.
That one clue.
Mhm.
If she had said, oh, she said she went to college. Oh, that's what, well, I mean, everybody's mother goes to college, or many of them do. But that one quirky, stupid thing about her, that's all I needed to
Mhm.
hear. I knew she was fine.
Yeah, and they are. They're doing much better than we are. No more health issues, no
Yeah,
more fatigue, no more needing to eat or gaining weight or losing weight. None of that stuff. They just pure soul.
yeah,
Mm. Oh, I wanted to
no,
tell you something else because they just showed this to me. So, thank God we have cameras on our phones now because that those electronics can capture spirit much better than the film camera. So, I've often said to my clients, if you want a really good um, example of them being around, when it's if you're celebrating their birthday or it's Thanksgiving or it's Christmas if you celebrate that or Hanukkah or whatever, they will want to be with their family. Take lots and lots and lots of photographs. Now, I went to Lilydale, New York, and I took 100. And out of those 100, I got 13. So I got beautiful orbs, the big circle, white circles. I got snow. It almost looked like snow. There was so much. And then I took another picture and there was nothing. So I knew that was not dust and it wasn't bugs. It was spirit orbs. So that's another way that you can, know that your family is with you. And the other thing I do is I actually celebrate their death day because it's actually a birthday for them on to the other side.
yeah,
And if you ever see a candle, the flame jumping like this, you know what I
yeah.
mean? That's them. They manipulate the candle. I've got a candle right. Oh, it's going right now. Let's see if come on, do it again for us. I always light a candle when I'm doing the work. No, of course you're not doing it now, but it was just jumping just now. So um, yeah, they love to
They will
as
never.
well as my father. Oh God.
My spirit guide is of course right here as well, and he just said we never perform. He just said it just in that tone.
Yeah, it was just my dad. He would be teasing me. He'd have the candle jumping, and then I want to show somebody, and it stops. That's
That's what they
that's
do.
sense of humor.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So I just love the work. I do the best I can. Success is about showing up, and I show up. So, I'll tell you another thing too is that I always surround myself with prayer before I start. I light the candle, of course, and surround myself with prayer so that I work with the highest, the purest, and the best. It's really important. There are some mediums that don't, and you've got to be very careful what kind of energy they draw in. And those are
Yeah,
the ones
I think
that,
that's something that many people don't think about enough
mm, yeah,
because there are many negative energies. Now, the thing is, and I think another thing we always have to keep in mind is that the lower the vibration of an energy, the weaker it is. The higher the vibration of the energy, more toward love, the more powerful it is. So we're not really, don't go around being fearful,
no, no.
but be respectful of the fact that there are negative entities and we don't want to draw them or attract them in any way.
And you know what, Roberta? You attract what you are. So if
That's
your
very true.
yeah, if your energy and is of love, light, and kindness, that's what you're going to attract because the darkness can't stand the light. If you go
True.
into a dark room and you light a candle, it's no longer dark. The dark's gone. And the brighter your light, the less likely they can be with you. It's like them staring into the sun. They can't stand it. So, and I make sure, here's another thing too. I make sure I don't go into haunted places,
Nope.
go into cemeteries. I stay away from places that have a lot of fights or illness, that kind of thing, because I've drawn energy to me in it not knowing, and thankfully it's cleared off.
Halloween is not fun. Don't
Yeah,
ever
sorry.
think Halloween,
Oh, I
Halloween.
do not like Halloween. I do
Halloween is
not
not a
like it.
fun thing. Anything that is negative in idea or attitude,
Mm,
stay away from.
yeah, don't like it. Don't like, and never liked it. Right down to the kids getting the candy. It's almost feels like begging for me. I know
And if
that's
you have a
sounds terrible.
child who is afraid of the dark,
Mhm.
respect that child's fear, and always, always have a night light in that
Yes.
child's room. That's
Yep.
very, very important.
Yep. When I was about 8 years old, I was home from school because I was sick. And when I get sick, I'm sick. My mother says, "Oh God, Carolyn, you look awful." And she
No
said,
offense.
"No offense, but you need to go to bed." And it was after lunch, and I don't want to go. Yes, you go. So I went and I laid down and I put my hands over myself like this, and I said, "God, take me. I feel so awful."
Don't
And
say
with
that
that,
to God.
12 times my door to the bedroom opened and shut with a click, 12 times.
Oh,
And in my mind's eye, I saw these pillars of light all the way around my bed. And with that, I fell asleep. And when I woke up, I was cured. So I guess they still wanted me here.
I guess so.
But you know what? That was normal for me. I thought everybody goes through that.
Mm,
Because you know what? My family said, "Oh, okay. All right." There was no poo-pooing it. It was like, that's your experience. We respect that. And when I look back, it's like pure evidence of what was around me. Yeah.
oh, my dear. I could
Yeah.
talk to you all day. I have so much fun with you whenever you're here.
Oh, I got
We're,
stories, Roberta.
yeah, well, save some for the next time. We're coming to the end of our time
Oh, it goes by
today.
so fast.
I know it always goes fast. What do you want people to take away from our time today?
Do your homework, research before you choose a psychic or a medium. The best thing is to talk to people who have had experiences, get
Yeah.
referrals in that way. Go to the website. A good, reputable medium will have a website. They should have a YouTube channel. Get their energy, get the sense of their energy before you commit.
Yeah, it's very important to have a good sense of the person that you're going to be talking to.
Yeah.
There are referrals on Carolyn. Obviously, there would be on Carolyn's website, and anybody who is doing this work should have good referrals there. And but it's you want to talk with someone who is not probing for answers
Right.
from you, because you can easily get what is an okay reading from anybody. I could give you an okay reading. I'm guaranteed to be able to do that because I've heard so many readings from people who they have the same amount of psychic ability as a doorknob does. And yet, yes, because I've tested them, they don't know anything, but they can probe just enough to have your grandma able to give you enough vague answers that you're saying, yeah, that's grandma. Yeah, that's so good. No, they could never on the first try say, why is she pointing at her? Oh, she says she paints them on. No. Um, it's such a delight to talk with you, my dear, and I'm so glad that you're doing all the things you're doing now because you're really blessing the world, and I'm very grateful to you for that.
Thank you so much.
And so stay right there. I'm just going to tell everyone who our next guest is going to be. It's somebody else that people really enjoy talking with. Oh, this has been so much fun. But once again, my darling friends, we have come to the end of our time together. This has been Seek Reality with Roberta Grimes, and I'm so happy you could be with us today. Please never forget you are a powerful, eternal being. You never began, you never will end. And when you understand that fact, the basic truth of that fact, and all the implications of that fact, it's going to change everything in your life for the better. Next week, our guest will be Carol and Mikey Morgan. I think everyone here knows their story by now. Mikey is a sixth level being who had last lived on Earth in the 1600s, and he had achieved the spiritual development back then, which is just below the source level. And more recently, he became so concerned about the way this world is so screwed up. Things are going so wrong on Earth that he wanted to help us in some way. So he took another Earth lifetime that began in 1987 and ended in 2007 so he could teach us here from the sixth level. And now he answers our questions through his mother, Carol. Now, poor Carol. She swears she never would have signed up for this, losing her cherished son at the age of 20 in an auto accident. No, she never would have signed up for this, but yeah, she did. He says she did. You're going to love this. We always love having him as our guest, so please be sure to join us next week. And this week, our guest has been another crowd favorite here. Carolyn Molnar is the beloved author of Compassionate Messenger, and she's been with us again for the sixth time. She's an excellent psychic medium, a genuine one. She's based in Canada, and she's a delightful and knowledgeable expert in this field. She knew, I mean, I know a few good psychic mediums by now, having tested so many and known a lot of bad ones too. And but Carolyn is, I think, a rarity because she's also a lovely person. I always enjoy having her as our guest and just sort of kibitzing, as I think you can see. We should mention here, too, that our dear friend Craig Hogan is the president and guru of Seek Reality Online. Just go to seekreality.com and justify to yourself the fact that I keep telling you your life is eternal because we have all the evidence there that we've gathered in our lifetimes about what really happens when you die. And believe me, it's better than your most optimistic hopes. And that's all I really have time for today. So once again, know that this is Seek Reality with Roberta Grimes. Please enjoy, please make the most of this coming week in our one reality, always knowing that you are a powerful, eternal being, and you in particular, most of all in this entire universe, you are infinitely, eternally, perfectly, and forever loved.